Hello and welcome. In this video, we will solve how to create more random values for our datasets using some built-in functions provided by Factory Boy, such as LazyAttributes, sequences, and faker. In the previous video, we are using fixed or static values as the default values of our factories. So the goal in this video is to make our datasets more random. The end result of this video will be like this. Instead of having these fixed values here for the name and email, we will be able to generate random values. To get started, open up an existing project, or you may use the same project as I have by cloning this project and navigating to the Django Testing 2 branch. A link to the project will be uploaded together with the video for reference. Now, I will open the Swagger documentation so you can see what this app is about. So, navigating to API docs, we can see that this is a film app using Django REST framework, and it has films and producers, so a user can execute HTTP requests to retrieve or create and do other operations for the films and producers. So the business logic is a film has to have a producer, so the producer is a foreign key for the film model. When I execute this get endpoint, you can see that there is a producer for each film. This app also has tests. So these are the tests for the API endpoints, specifically for the post and the list and the single film endpoint. So now, let me stop this and clear. If I run this test, all these tests passes. But we are using static values, so let's make it more random. So the first thing that I will introduce is lazy attributes. So some field may be deduced from others. So for example, this email is using the name. So the lazy attribute handles such cases. It should receive a function taking the object being built and returning the value of the field. So in this email, we will use lazy attribute. So type factory dot, but before that, let's import the factory and lazy attribute. Now it will receive a function, so let's just use the lambda, and we will type obj for short term for object, and let's give it the values. So at example.com, and let's format that to use the object which is being built, so obj.name. Now let's test this implementation. Let's go to our test create film, since there is a producer factory that is being created here, and let's put our breakpoint in here just after the producer that is being created. You can also type pytest to execute this whole test here. So before that, I'll just show you how to do that. And you can see that 3 test passes. So I'll use the test runner since I've already configured that here in PyCharm. So breakpoint, and I'll click on debug. So the execution will stop when the breakpoint is reached here, and we can see the values of the producer. So producer, it has an email of ben@example.com, which is following the name Ben. So if we change this, let's continue and execute this. So if we change this to Jack, and when you run this test again, the email will be jack@example.com. So let's just confirm this. When we look at the producer values, we can see jack@example.com. Okay. The next thing that I want to introduce is the name. So how do we create random names? So instead of Ben or Jack, or if you want to create 10 instantiations of the producer factory, it should have different names. So one way to do that is to use faker. Faker is a Python package that generates fake data, which Factory Boy already inherits in its package. So under this name, we'll just type factory.faker, and faker receives a string. So in here, let's type first_name. So if you look at the Faker documentation, we can see that Faker supports a lot of attributes here. So there are phone number, person, profile, currency, datetime, and everything else. So what we want is the first name of the person. So it will generate the first names like this. So let's try it. When we go back to our test views, let's check this and run. So when we look at the producer, we can see that the name is Tina and the email is tina@example.com. So it is weird, right, if the email is starting with a capital letter, so we can change that. Let's just change it to use .lower. Okay. Lastly, I want to show you how to use sequences. So for the film factory, we want to make this film use sequences. So instead of Harry Potter, it will be film 0 or film 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and etc. So for that, we want to use a helper function called sequence. So let's do that. So factory.sequence, and it will also accept a function like the email here. So let's type lambda and give it like n, and let's type film and format that to use the n value, which is a number. So let's go back to our views and let's test. So for here, we can test the films list. So let's put the breakpoint here. We usually click on debug, so the execution will stop at the breakpoint. And let's see the film. It has a title of film 0. So I thought of a better way to illustrate this sequence. So now let's create a test to test the count of the list retrieved by the get endpoint. So type def test get films count and give it a client for our HTTP request and none. And now let's create the film factories. So now let's create 10 film factories so we can assert that the count is 10. So type film factory and duplicate it 10 times. But this is grossly inefficient. What if we want 100 films and we want to assert that the film count is 100? So factory boy includes a helper method for that. For each factory, we have create batch function, and here we accept a size, so we can type 100. And now let's create the get request. So let's copy this from the previous test. And now let's assert that the length of the response is 100. So let's test this. Put a breakpoint after the response so we can look at it and click on debug. Again, you can type pytest in your terminal and use PDB statements instead of the breakpoints. So now let's look at the response and the data. We can see that there are films here and they are incrementing by 1 for each record until 99. So this is the work of the sequence. Let's continue this test and see that it passes. Let's run that again. So yes, it passes. That's it. We have learned how to generate fake data for our tests using the functions provided by Factory Boy. I hope you learned a lot, and I'll see you in the next video.